A priest and a lawyer walk into a bakery. The lawyer looks around shrewdly, grabs 3 freshly baked buns, and quickly slips them into his pockets. He then tells the priest,
"That took great skill to steal those buns. The owner didn't even see me."
The priest replies, "That's just simple thievery. I will show you how to do it the honest way and get the same results." The priest then proceeds to call out to the owner of the bakery, "Sir, I want to show you a miracle of the Lord." Curious and slightly skeptical, the owner wipes his hands on his apron and approaches the priest. "A miracle, you say? All right, I'm listening," he replies. The priest asks for a bun, which the owner hands over without hesitation. The priest then steps outside and gives the bun to a homeless man sitting by the door, who accepts it gratefully. Returning inside, the priest asks for another bun, repeating the process, and then does so a 3rd time. Each time, the owner obliges, albeit with growing curiosity. Finally, after the 3rd bun has been given away, the owner, puzzled but patient, asks, "All right, Father, I've seen you give away 3 of my buns. Now, where's the miracle you promised?" The priest replies, "Look in the lawyer's pockets." A lawyer has just purchased a new Ferrari, and he is very eager to show it off to his colleagues. Suddenly, an 18-wheeler comes out of nowhere and takes off the driver's side door as he's standing right next to it. "No!" he screams, because he knows that the car will never be the same again. Minutes later, a policeman arrives. The lawyer runs up to him screaming,
"My Ferrari door was just torn off by that idiot in that truck over there."
The policeman looks at him and asks,
"You're a lawyer, ain't you?" "Well, yes, I am," replies the lawyer. "But what does that have to do with anything?"
The policeman replies,
"You lawyers are all the same. All you care about are your personal possessions. I bet you didn't even notice that your left arm is missing."
Shocked, the lawyer looks down at his side and screams,
"My Rolex!"
2 lions in Africa spot a lawyer on a safari. The lions are hungry, so they pounce on the lawyer and eat him. Later, the 2 lions are stalking through the brush when one of them reaches out with his tongue and licks the rear of the other lion. The startled lion turns around and says,
"Hey, cut that out!"
The other lion apologizes, and they continue. About 5 minutes later, the lion again reaches out with his tongue and licks the rear of the other lion. The lion growls and says,
"I said stop it!"
The other lion apologizes, and they continue. After about another 5 minutes, the lion once more licks the rear of the other lion. This time, the other lion asks,
"I told you to stop that! What is it with you anyway?"
The lion replies,
"Sorry. I was just trying to get the taste out of my mouth."
Joe grew up in a small town, then moved away to attend college and law school. He decided to come back to the small town because he could be a big man in this small town. He really wanted to impress everyone. He opened his new law office, but business was very slow at first. One day, he saw a man coming up the sidewalk to his office. He decided to make a big impression on this new client when he arrived. As the man came to the door, Joe picked up the phone. He motioned the man in, all while saying, "No, absolutely not. You tell those clowns in New York that I won't settle this case for less than $1 million. Yes, the appeals court has agreed to hear the case next week. I'll be handling the primary argument, and the other members of my team will provide support. Okay, tell the DA that I'll meet with him next week to discuss the details." This sort of thing went on for almost 5 minutes. All the while, the man sat patiently as Joe rattled instructions. Finally, Joe put down the phone and turned to the man. "I'm sorry for the delay," he said, "but as you can see, I'm very busy. What can I do for you?" The man replied,
I came to hook up your phone."
A New York divorce lawyer died and arrived at the pearly gates. St. Peter asks him,
What have you done to merit entrance into heaven?
The lawyer thought a moment, then said, A week ago I gave a quarter to a homeless person on the street. St. Peter asked Gabriel to check this out in the record, and after a moment, Gabriel affirmed that this was true. St. Peter said,
Well, that's fine, but it's not really quite enough to get you into heaven.
The lawyer said, Wait, there's more. 3 years ago, I also gave a homeless person a quarter. St. Peter nodded to Gabriel, who after a moment nodded back, affirming this too had been verified. St. Peter then whispered to Gabriel,
Well, what do you suggest we do with this fellow?
Gabriel gave the lawyer a sidelong glance, then said to St. Peter, Let's give him back his 50 cents and tell him to go to hell. A big city lawyer went duck hunting in rural North Alberta. He shot and dropped a bird, but it fell into a farmer's field on the other side of a fence. As the lawyer climbed over the fence, an elderly farmer drove up on his tractor and asked him what he was doing. The lawyer responded, I shot a duck and it fell in this field, and now I'm going to retrieve it. The old farmer Peter replied, This is my property and you're not coming over here. The indignant lawyer said, I am one of the best trial lawyers in Canada, and if you don't let me get that duck, I'll sue you and take everything you own. The old farmer smiled and said, Apparently, you don't know how we settle disputes in Alberta. We settle small disagreements like this with the 3-kick rule. The lawyer asked, What is the 3-kick rule? The farmer replied, Well, because the dispute occurs on my land, I get to go first. I kick you 3 times, and then you kick me 3 times, and so on, until someone gives up. The lawyer thought about the proposed contest and decided that he could easily take the old codger. So he agreed to abide by the local custom. The old farmer slowly climbed down from the tractor and walked up to the attorney. His first kick planted the toe of his heavy steel-toed work boot right into the lawyer's groin and dropped him to his knees. His second kick to the midriff sent the lawyer's last meal gushing from his mouth. The lawyer was on all fours when the farmer's third kick to his rear end sent him face first into a fresh cow pie. Summoning every bit of his will and remaining strength, the lawyer very slowly managed to get to his feet. Wiping his face with the arm of his jacket, he said, Okay, you old fart, now it's my turn. The old farmer smiled and said, You can have the duck. A doctor and a lawyer were talking at a barbecue. Their conversation was constantly interrupted by people describing their ailments and asking the doctor for free medical advice. After about an hour of this, the exasperated doctor turned to the lawyer and asked, What do you do to stop people from asking you for legal advice when you're out of the office?
I give it to them,
replied the lawyer,
and then I send them a bill.
The doctor chuckled at this and decided to give it a try himself. The next day, the doctor prepared a stack of bills. When he finished, he went to place them in his mailbox, where he found a bill from the lawyer.